Hey Townview Music. So we're going to look at some more sight reading today, and now we're going to look at a piece that has no sharp or flat in the key signature. Number 6 here, you'll see that between the clef and the time signature, it's completely blank. What that means is that it's not that there is no key, it's just that the key signature is blank and we have to use something other than a sharp or a flat to tell us what the starting note or what the tonic of the key is. When you see no sharps or flats, when you see no sharps or flats, when you see no sharps or flats, that means that C, the letter C, is do. Now, if you know the lines and spaces of the treble or bass staff, then you'll know exactly where C is. If you don't, we'll cover that in another lesson. But for right now, what you can remember is that the space of the treble clef spells face. So face in the space. So that's F-A-C-E. So the third space there is C. And in the bass staff, it's Ace G, or all cows eat grass, or all cars eat gas, A-C-E-G. So it means that C is the second space. On the bass clef, it's the second space from the bottom, and on treble clef, it's the third space on the bottom. Also, the ledger line, this little mini line right below the treble staff, is C, and we don't have one in this piece, but the ledger line right above the bass staff is C. So we can tell that both the treble and the bass staff here start on the letter C. And because we don't see any sharps or flats in the key signature, that means that C, that note, is do. C is right here. So with me, sing do, re, mi, fa, so, starting from this note. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Let's do that again. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Good. Now this one is 2 lines long. You'll see that it starts here and there's 4 measures on the top, and then it continues on and there's 4 measures on the bottom. Just as a reminder, if you're reading treble clef on the top, you should read treble clef on the bottom. And if you're reading bass clef on top, you should read bass clef on the bottom. Don't try to swap between clefs when you swap between lines. Take a moment and review both the pitch and the rhythm, and then we'll sing it together. Here's your do. Make sure you're practicing out loud. Take another 10 seconds. If you didn't get through both lines, you can pause it and then get through them, or you can just keep moving on. It's important to practice out loud, especially when you're new to this, so that you can practice the act of actually singing and hearing yourself sing it. It's going to really help you develop these skills. So sing do, re, mi, fa, so. Do, re, mi, fa, so. Now let's practice the jump that we had in our last videos that you also see here. Do, mi. Sing that. Do, mi. One more time. Do, mi. And we see that jump happening in a couple of places. Because there are so many eighth notes in this one, we're going to take it just a little bit slower than the last one. Be very precise with your rhythm. You're thinking 1 and 2 and. Ready? Breathe. Here we go. Do, do, re, mi, do, re, do, ti, do. Breathe. Mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi. Breathe. Mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, fa, sol, sol, fa, mi. Breathe. Do, do, re, mi, do, re, do, ti, do. Rest. So hopefully that went pretty well for you. If not, go back and do it again. This specific piece is written in a really interesting way. It's written to where it can be sung as a round. A round means it's the same music, but it happens at different times. And by staggering your start of the music, then you get a different piece of music because you get harmony instead of just a melodic line. So here's something for you to try. I'm going to sing the whole melody one more time. And if you're new, and if you're still fighting to stick with us, then you sing with me. But if you're not new, if you're a returning student or you're an experienced sight reading a student, or if you just want a challenge, then you start at a different time. I'm going to sing the entire piece all the way through twice. So you can start when I'm singing at the beginning. Once I get to measure 3, you can start at the beginning. Or when I get to measure 5, you can start at the beginning. Or when I get to measure 7, you can start at the beginning. And this is going to give you practice being independent. You're singing one line while I'm singing another line. So we're doing a duet together. And like I said, I'm going to sing through the entire thing twice. So no matter where you start, we're going to have some time where we overlap. Are you ready? Let's do it. Me first, and like I said, new students, feel free to join in with me. 1, 2, breathe. Do, do, re, mi, do, re, do, ti, do. Mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi. Mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, fa, sol, fa, sol, fa, mi. Do, do, re, mi, do, re, do, ti, do. Do, do, re, mi, do, re, do, ti, do. Mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi. Mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, fa, sol, fa, sol, fa, mi. Do, do, re, mi, do, re, do, ti, do. Hopefully you were able to hold your own on that. Feel free to rewind and do this as many times as you want, trying out a different one each time. The first time, maybe you sing through with me, and then the next time you start on measure 3, and then the next time you start on measure 5, and the next time you start on measure 7. You could go as far as you want with this. You could even sing it backwards, and it would still work. So I'll let my experienced students have some time experimenting and trying that out. Do it as many times as you want. Now let's move on. We're going to look at number 9 this time. Number 9 has a flat in the key signature, and that flat tells me that that note is fa, which means that the note above it is so. So in this case, we have fa to so, and on bass clef, we have a long, long trip. Fa, so, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, so, that first ledger line there. Now, this is the letter C, which is the same letter we started on the last one. But this isn't do in this key because of the flat. The flat shows us it is a different key. If all it was a blank key signature, then C would be do, but this is not a blank key signature. So here's our note. Do, re, mi, fa, sol. That's our so. Take just a few moments to look through Both lines, the top and bottom lines for number 9. Work through the pitch, the rhythm, even try singing it. If you're not done yet, you can keep moving on and try it without practice time, or you can pause the video now and finish your practice. Sing do, mi, fa, so. Do, mi, fa, so. We have our jump between do and mi, and we also have fa and so in this. Starting from so. So. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, so, fa, mi, do, mi, fa, so. So, so, fa, mi, do, ti, do, re, mi, fa. So, so, fa, mi, do, mi, fa, sol, la, so, fa, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, do, re, do. If you're not careful, that last line will catch you a little bit out of breath. Pause and try this on your own now, if you didn't try it on your own before. Now let's move on to one more today for this video. Number 12. Now we have 2 sharps in the key signature, but the idea is the same way. The last sharp, meaning the one that's all the way to the right, is going to be our T. Don't worry about this first sharp, worry about the second one. It's always going to be the one farthest away from the clef, the one that's all the way closest to the time signature. That's our sharp that we're looking at. So this one is T, and we count down La, So, Fa, Mi, Re, Do, and Ti, Do. Look through both lines here. I'm going to give you about 20 seconds, and if that's not enough time, then you can always pause it and look through on your own. Study it starts on Do, look through the whole thing. Let's chant it together. Do, ready, and go. Do, mi, fa, so. La, so, fa, mi. Measure 3. Do, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, do, re. Second line. Do, mi, fa, so, la, ti, la, so, fa, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, do, mi, re, do, ti, do. Let's chant it one more time. Ready, go. Do, mi, fa, so, la, so, fa, mi. Do, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, do, re. Do, mi, fa, so, la, ti, la, so, fa, mi. Fa, so, fa, mi, do, mi, re, do, ti, do. Let's sing it. Do, ready, and go. Do, mi, fa, so, la, so, fa, mi. Do, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, do, re. Do, mi, fa, so, la, ti, la, so, fa, mi. Fa, so, fa, mi, do, mi, re, do, ti, do.